He is a prolific artist whose time penciling the Amazing Spider-Man comics and later creating his own iconic anti-hero Spawn has sparked the imagination of millions. Yeah, Calgary's Todd McFarlane is in the house right now, and he's also at Fan Expo this weekend. Todd, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for giving me the time.
We were just chatting about traffic. So what were we saying about the traffic?
Isn't that the same photo every day, that you just say a bunch of cars on the road every single day, then the same update?
How would you draw a traffic jam?
Oh, lots of little small ones, so I didn't have to do all the detail on it. So,
Did you think you'd get to here? 300. They're calling it historic, and then 301 will be the record, right?
So 300 sets a record for the longest-running creator-owned comic book in the world, right? Not nationally, in the world, which coincidentally will tie the record for another fellow Canadian. That begs the question of what's happening to the citizenry of all the other countries. Why is it Canada again?
We're just that good. We're that good.
Breaks the record, right? And that was after I left Marvel, after doing Hulk and Batman, Spiderman. So did I think I'd get there? The goal was to create characters and ideas that would outlive me, right? So the people I admired from a distance when I was younger, people like Walt Disney, and Mickey Mouse is still here, he isn't. And I was dear friends with Stan Lee. I had the good fortune of probably being on stage with him more than anybody else, and all of his characters that he created for Marvel, they're all still going. And so the answer was, could you put something down that would basically live forever if done right?
And you've done pretty good at it so
up to
far.
300, right? I've still got another good 30 years in me. So.
Do you think so? You can keep going with it?
Oh yeah. Oh, what are you talking about?
What is it? What is it about you that you love and that keeps you so? A lot of people will burn out after a while, but you're still in love with it.
I think there's a personality trait that has to come with anything, right? I'm like a dog with a bone, and once you give me the bone, then sort of the rest of the world blurs away. So just sitting down and picking ideas and doing it, although I still do a lot of other things. So I'm very myopic when we get there. And so I've told people too, look, if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, here's the copyright for Superman, it's yours. Don't ask for Supergirl, don't ask for Superdog, just take the copyright and run. Because you can do a very good business and a very good career with that one great idea and build everything around it, right? So.
With 300, when you were working on it, I mean, did you think about it as being the historic one, or did you just approach it as another day at the office?
Look, you know what? We did it as a triple size issue. So a normal book is 20 issues or 20 pages inside. We did 60. So no, at some point we were going, what are we doing? Triple size issue? Like, I'm getting way too old for this, right? So, when I was younger, I used to work through the night and spend 14, 16 hours doing it. You and I aren't spring chickens yet, and all of a sudden, so that manual labor is a young man's sport now. So no, I was sitting there going, I feel like I'm 20. I'm working. I did a couple all-nighters here, but just to get it to the printers. Went to the printers on Saturday. They just gave me a copy the other day here.
When was the last time you did something like that? An all-nighter?
It'd been a long time, right? I can't say it's your best drawing when you're on hour 27, hour 42. So, but you just do it. But the thing is that, here's really sort of for me the story. It's not the comic books, not Todd. It's not our company, Image Comics, which is the third largest company. It's that you can go up against giants. I have a toy company also. And we go up, toy company goes against Hasbro, Mattel, and Lego every day. And the comic company, and Spawn in particular, we go up against Marvel and DC Comics that are DC and Marvel are owned by Disney and Warner Brothers. These are billion-dollar empires. And you can be a little person that has an idea, and you can survive. Not only survive, you can compete, right? To the point that 27 years after the launch of Spawn, that was the #1 book and set a record for an independent book, we're at the top of the charts, right? Spawn 300 will outsell the relaunch of the X-Men, a new relaunch of Spiderman, and a relaunch of Venom and stuff like that. So, and they've got billions of dollars backing them up. And I'm 27 years later still doing it, saying it can happen, right? It doesn't have to be comic books. It can be any business. You can do it if you're spending your own time and effort. You don't have to make too many compromises.
Let's talk a little bit about Spider-Man, your thoughts on what's going on right now with Sony and Disney.
Well, look, here's what ended up happening. Disney bought Marvel, because I worked there for a while. Disney bought Marvel, and some of those characters were splintered out. They offered $2 billion to buy from Paramount Iron Man. They got him back. Then they went to Fox and said, hey, we'll give you $2 billion for Fantastic Four and X-Men. Fox said, no. So they ended up having to pay $74 billion for the entire Fox studio recently so they could get those characters. They've been going back and forth with a deal with Sony, and they came back and went, hey, we were getting 10% of that movie. We'd like to split it 50-50, and Sony said no. So it's business, because they had a happy accident with the billion-dollar success of this character, Venom. I created the visuals of Venom when I worked at Marvel. So they just went, no. Sony's saying, we'll take the Spider-Verse, and we don't need the Marvel Universe. Right?
Is it done then, you think? Is there going to be any deal or no?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's done.
No, not at 50-50, right? I know a couple of the heads up there. There I go. They're not going to just go, oh, from 10 to 50, sure, you go ahead and take this. So, yeah.
All right, Todd, thank you very much for joining us. We could talk forever on so many other things. This is On the Stand September the 4th, right?
Right.
Beautiful. And you are also at Fan Expo this weekend. You'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. And Fan Expo kicks off today at Metro Toronto Convention Center. Thank you again for joining us. More on BT coming up after the break.
Giant leaps, cost.